Christian soldiers, show the world your light can shine. Get on this gospel ladder and don't be afraid to climb. Soon the angels will be cheering and the battle will be yours, and we'll celebrate the victory when we reach that other shore. They're holding up the ladder that I'm climbing on. I'm climbing up this ladder and I'm going home. At the top of the ladder, oh what joy there will be, and the angels are holding up this ladder for me. They're holding up the ladder that I'm climbing on. I'm climbing up this ladder and I'm going home. At the top of the ladder, oh what joy there will be, and the angels are holding up this ladder for me. And the angels are holding up this ladder for me.
I have seen the morning when the sun burst full of color that spread radiating life inside the valley where I live. I have climbed the mountaintop and soared beside the red-tailed hawk and gathered all the secrets that the forest cared to give. Call on me if you think that you are free, come to my home and rest your weary head. Call on me when you think that you are free enough to live the way you said. I have seen the woodlands in the blazing leaves of autumn. I've smelled the dazzling fragrance as the Ozark breezes blow. I have swum through pools of gleaming water lined with mossy fern to kiss my naked lover's warmth and feel her body flow. Call on me when you think that you are free, come to my home and rest your weary head. Call on me when you think that you are free enough to live the way you said. I have heard the evening when the night sprang live with music. I've harmonized the whippoorwill and I've howled the gray wolf's verse. I have knelt my head down to a pure and bubbling mountain spring and sucked the perfect waters from the bosom of the earth. Call on me when you think that you are free, come to my home and rest your weary head. Call on me when you think that you are free enough to live the way you said. Free enough to live the way you said. Thank you. A Scotsman clad in kilt left a bar one evening fair. You could tell by the way he walked he'd drunk more than his fare. He stumbled round until he could no longer keep his feet. Then he staggered up into the grass to sleep beside the street. Ring-di-diddly-i-di-o, ring-di-diddly-o. He staggered up into the grass to sleep beside the street. About that time 2 young and lovely girls came passing by. One said to the other with a twinkle in her eye, "See yon sleeping Scotsman, so strong and handsome built. I wonder if it's true what they don't wear beneath the kilt. Ring-di-diddly-i-di-o, ring-di-diddly-o. I wonder if it's true what they don't wear beneath the kilt." They crept up on the Scotsman just as quiet as could be, and lifted up his kilt about an inch so they could see. And there, behold, to their surprise, beneath his Scottish skirt was nothing more than God had granted him upon his birth. Ring-di-diddly-i-di-o, ring-di-diddly-o. So it's nothing more than God had granted him upon his birth. They marveled for a moment, then one said, "We must be gone. Let's leave a present for our friend before we move along." And as a gift they tied a blue silk ribbon in a bow. Around the bonny star the Scotsman kilt did lift and show. Ring-di-diddly-i-di-o, ring-di-diddly-o. Around the bonny star the Scotsman's kilt did lift and show. The Scotsman wakes to nature's call and stumbles towards a tree. Behind a bush he lifts his kilt and gasps at what he sees. And in a startled voice he says to what's before his eyes, "Lad, I don't know where you've been, but I see you won first prize." Ring-di-diddly-i-di-o, ring-di-diddly-o. Lad, I don't know where you've been, but I see you won first prize. She weren't much to look at, she weren't much to ride. She was missing a window on her passenger side, though her floorboards were patched up with paper and tar. I really was something in my old yellow car. An American boy with his hands on the wheel of a dream that was made of American steel. There was no road too winding and no place too far, with $2 of gas in my old yellow car. Somewhere in a pile of rubber and steel is a rusty old shell of an automobile. And if engines could run on desires alone, that old yellow car would be driving me home. There's the seat where poor Billy threw up on his date, and where Larry and Sandy could no longer wait. There was no road too winding and no place too far, with $2 of gas in my old yellow car. Somewhere in a pile of rubber and steel is a rusty old shell of an automobile. And if engines could run on desires alone, that old yellow car would be driving me home. Won't you look at me now, throwing money around? I'm paying somebody to drive me downtown. Got a Mercedes-Benz with a TV and a bar. I wish I was driving that old yellow car. Somewhere in a pile of rubber and steel is a rusty old shell of an automobile. And if engines could run on desires alone, that old yellow car would be driving me home. Thank you. Once I lived in Southern California. Sand and surf was good for me. Then early one morning I was shaking out of bed and I wound up down on my knees. I prayed, God, please let this building hold together. Don't let me be killed by debris. Early next morning I loaded up the truck. I had to move away from Beverly Hills, that is. Then I slowly made my way to Oklahoma, procured a little trailer on the hill. I'd no sooner settled in than the sky began to rumble. It hailed and then got perfectly still. I prayed, God, please don't let this be a freight train bearing down on me this stormy night. But Mother Nature laid its tracks right through my living room, and I knew my location wasn't right. I'm just trying to find a safer haven, a safer place for me to be, just looking for a little spot of heaven while holding off eternity. Doing this without a pick now. Hey, we can see if we can hand this off. Here we go. Then I took a bus to North Carolina, became a barefoot bum out on the beach, far away from the TV and the papers, so I didn't see what was coming straight at me. I prayed, God, please let this be a little weather. Don't let it be a storm that bears a name. I tied myself tightly to a pine tree top and I rode out a Class 5 hurricane. I'm just trying to find a safer haven, a safer place for me to be, just looking for a little slice of heaven while holding off eternity. Then a friend and I, we sailed to Hawaii. We climbed a mountain with a native guide. She said this was a dormant volcano till I heard the loudest burble deep inside. I prayed, God, please let this be indigestion, as we turned and ran quickly for the dock. I never knew that I could run that fast, but I never been chased by molten rock. I'm just trying to find a safer haven, a safer place for me to be, just looking for a little slice of heaven while holding off eternity. Now I've tried to find a moral to the story, to bring some closure to my wasted life. I settled in the Arizona desert. The earth is still, the air is dry. And I pray God, please don't let me be so stupid as to run away from everything I see. I finally found my safer haven, at least until the killer bees find me. I'm just trying to find a safer haven, a safer place for me to be. Just looking for a little slice of heaven while holding off eternity. Just looking for a little slice of heaven while holding off eternity. Come, lonely hunter, chieftain and king, I will fly like the falcon when I go. Bear me, my brother, under your wing. I am struck, filled with lightning when I go. I will bellow like the thunder drum about the storm of war, twisting pillars spun of dust and blood up from the prairie floor. I will drive the fall before me like a gale out on the snow, and the wind will count in showers of crimson rubies when I go. Strange spirit dancer, with nimble and thin, I will leap like coyote when I go. Tireless entrancer, lend me your skin, I will run like the gray wolf when I go. I will climb the rise of daybreak, I will kiss the sky at noon, turn my yearning voice at midnight to my mother in the moon. I will make delay of long defeat and draw the chorus slow, send a message down the wire and hope someone wise is listening when I go. And when the sun does trumpet from his red house in the east, he will find the standing stone where long I chanted my release. He will send his morning messenger to strike the hammer blow, and I'll shower down uncountable in showers of crimson rubies when I go. Sigh, mournful sister, whisper and turn, I will rattle like dry leaves when I go. Stand in the mist where my fire used to burn, I will camp on the night breeze when I go. And should you see my wandering form out on the borderline, between death and resurrection in the council of the pines, do not worry for my comfort, do not sorrow for me so. All your diamond tears will rise up and adorn the sky beside me when I go. Thank you.
different every night.
It's different every night?
Yep.
Yep.
Lots and lots of musicians around here.
Oh, yeah.
And this is a really good place for everybody to kind of do their own thing and get together and play and have a lot of fun and perform.
I came up here with my brother one year, him and his girlfriend, and he plays banjo. He loves banjo. But he passed away, and
Oh, that's too bad.
we miss him.
Yeah. Where y'all from?
I'm from Benton. You know,
Benton.
Benton,
Oh, I do.
Little Rock.
Yes. Our son lives close to Benton.
She's from Antioch.
Oh, really? I'm trying to think where Annie
Good
is.
evening, everyone. Welcome to the Club Possum Music Show, coming to you live from right near the Court Square in beautiful downtown Mountain View, Arkansas, in the Ozark Mountain. Club Possum is broadcast on the Mountain View Media Place YouTube channel, the Mountain View Media Place Facebook page, and KWMV 88.5 FM radio from the Mountain View Media Place. The Club Possum Music Show is a production of Ozark Roots Music and Art, a non-profit organization dedicated to preserving the local music culture here in the Mountain View area. We are also supported by numerous generous business donations and the many fine possum patrons that help keep our local music alive and kicking. If you might be interested in becoming a possum patron and supporting our show, please go to www.patreon.com/clubpossum to sign up and to get more information. And a big thank you to our diamond sponsor this year, Ozark RV Park and Cabin, as well as all of our many other business sponsors. Our performer tonight is playing solely for tips, so please leave a generous tip in the bucket back here by the concession stand, or if you're watching online or tuned in to KWMV 88.5, you can also send a donation to paypal.me/OzarkRootsMusic, and that entire amount received will go straight to the performers after the show. We have a couple of very talented performers joining us tonight. They're originally from over in Hardy, Arkansas, a nearby community where they ran a music store over there for many, many years, and they retired to Mountain View. They've been playing music here almost non-stop ever since, and we're always happy to have them on our stage. We please make welcome Jeff and Debbie Kamps.
Thank you very much. Well, we're just going to kick it right off. Time tune that you'll hear a lot around here at Mountain View when you hear people jamming. It's called Roscoe, and it's really a fun tune. We play that a lot here in jam groups. We're so glad that you are here. We got a little bit worried there for a while when no one was here, but we have an audience, and we're really happy about that.
Looks like a good one, too.
Yeah, good audience. We have some audience participation things. Don't get scared about that, though. It's real easy. So we'll do that just a little bit later on. Jeff and I, let me see, what are you playing tonight? You playing your banjo? Okay, just as a way of getting started, I wanted you to know that both of our instruments that we're playing tonight are handmade instruments. Jeff built the banjo that he plays, so he built that, been many years ago.
Back in the real early 80s.
Yeah, he built that one. He played the banjo before that, but he built that one. And this guitar was built right here in Mountain View, Arkansas, at Mountain View Music, just down the street, Scott and Shay Poole.
Yay!
Yes, yay. This is the very first one that they built, and I mean, it's all together and everything, and it sounds good. So we're excited about that. We do a lot of different kind of music. In fact, the next one's really different than a lot of things that we do. We also are opening our vault tonight. We pulled out a lot of music that we haven't done for a very long time. So we're excited about that in a way. A little nervous, but we're excited about it. We just kind of pulled out some old things. But this one is actually, it's called The Night Rider's Lament, and it's actually a cowboy song. And I really connected with this song, and I think Jeff did too. We moved to Arkansas about 45 years ago, and you know, it's one of those places where if you can live here, you can pretty much live anywhere. And we were a back-to-land family, and we had cows and pigs and chickens and goats, which goats are always in adventure. And no one in our family could understand why we were moving here, you know. They just couldn't understand. Why would you leave a good job and something that you've worked really hard for to come to a place where you don't really know anybody and there's nothing? I mean, Jeff built our house that we lived in. He took the logs off the land and everything and built our house. But our families just never got it. I don't think they still get it of why we came here. But it's the great beauty that you see. There's just not another place like it. It's so beautiful, and the water is so beautiful and clean, and wonderful people, and kindness, and we just fell in love with it, and that's why we came. Well, this song, even though it's a cowboy song, is about that idea. There's a young man, and he's a cowboy, and he keeps getting letters from home, and they're asking him, why are you doing this? You know, you're not making any money, you're outside all the time, and it's cold, and he in the song, the songwriter says that, well, you've never seen the northern lights, you've never seen a hawk on the wing, you've never seen the beauty of this area, and that's why I do what I do. And so that really connected with us. This is a song, the version that we're going to do is a Nancy Griffith version. It was written by Jerry Jeff Walker, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
He did it, made it.
He made it famous anyway, but he also was a songwriter.
World,
Yeah, the songwriter. But she did this one, and I just really liked it. So. When I was out riding, oh, the midnight shift daylight to dawn. Well, the moon was as bright as a reading light for a letter from an old friend back home. And he asked me, why do you ride for your money? And why do you rope for short pay? You ain't getting nowhere and you're losing your share. Well, you must have gone crazy out there. Last night I ran into Jenny. She's married and has a good life. She sure missed the mark when you never came back. She's a perfect professional's wife. She asked me, why does he ride for his money? Why does he rope for short pay? He ain't getting nowhere and he's losing his share. Well, he must have gone crazy out there, but they've never seen the northern lights, and they've never seen a hawk on the wing, never seen the spring hit the great divide, and they never heard old Camp Cookie sing. Yodelady-ho, ole-ho, ole-ho. Well, I read up the last of my letter, and I tore off the stamp for Black Jim. When Doogie came out to relieve me, I just looked at my letter and he grinned. He asked me, why do we ride for money? Why do we rope for short pay? We ain't getting nowhere and we're losing our share. Well, we must have gone crazy out here, but they've never seen the northern lights, and they've never seen a hawk on the wing, never seen the spring hit the great divide, and they never heard old Camp Cookie sing. Yodelay-ho, ole-ho, ole-ho. Thank you. Night Rider's Lament. Next one is Jeff City. Obviously. We have a really good friend, Jeff Michelle, who is from up around the Branson area, and he and Jeff are good friends, so we always make them sit together when Jeff's here for a jam, and we just call them the Jeffs. And they like to do this song because it's got their name in it.
Jeff City. I think I learned it from Jeff.
Where did you say you were originally?
Originally from Northern Illinois, almost to Wisconsin.
Don't hold that against us.
Well, Jeff's family was he was born in northern Wisconsin.
Y'all did travel a lot.
We did, and Jeff was a journeyman electrician there. He became a dulcimer maker here. So they're connected, right? Well, here we go with Jeff City. Jeff is playing the old-time clawhammer style or frailing style of banjo playing. It's not the three-finger with picks. He's not using any picks or anything. But it's a real traditional form of banjo playing. And you'll see both types here in Mountain View. You'll see bluegrass players, that's the three-finger with the picks on, and then you'll see clawhammer banjos. In fact, sometimes we've been in a jam and there's been as many as 4 clawhammer players, right?
Right.
Yep. And we like that.
Can't have too many banjos.
Right. Some people think you can, but they don't play the banjo. And as we go along, we'll kind of add some things, and if you have questions, you know, feel free to ask us. If you want to ask Jeff about banjo playing at the break, want to see what he's doing, he'll be happy to show you, won't you, Jeff?
I will.
Yes, thank you for volunteering.
I'll tell you everything I know. Take about 2 minutes.
Yeah, and anything, maybe just you're interested in playing music. Yes.
Yeah, I was curious how long y'all been playing your instruments.
We started, we're 70 now. We were in our early 20s. And we played for about 15 years.
Maybe
and
more
then
than that.
as the kids got older and demanded more, we quit for about 15 years. And then about 15 years ago or so, we started playing again. So
We were
this
busy
time
with our
around, about
children.
15 years. And it's not something we've done a whole lot of. We were still working and had kids, and we kind of eased into it over the years. And now that we're retired and the kids are gone, and we've been doing a lot more the last few years. So.
Do they come here?
Yes, yes, they like music. Our son plays.
They all can.
Yeah, they all
don't, but
can.
It's something we taught them. You know, you tell them and you teach them, and they don't always listen.
Well, and two, they're at that stage, our son, where all of his kids are, you know, hither and yon, and
All teenagers.
they're all teenagers, and so they're really busy. But he really does play quite a bit, and likes to play. He plays guitar and mandolin and mountain dulcimer. Of course, everyone plays mountain dulcimer because they worked in the store when they were kids, and you had to be able to demonstrate, you know, a mountain dulcimer. So they all played the mountain dulcimer, every one of them.
Our son was about 5 or 6 when I opened the store, and I had a display, sales in the front and built in the back. So I had to spend a lot of time in the back. So in the summers, he would come down, he'd work the front. He was like 6 years old, and he was making change and selling stuff and using the calculator, and he would demonstrate the dulcimer.
Yeah, he was
Had a little counter there, and he would play a few tunes, and a lot of the people that came in were older people, kind of a vacation area. And they would always, they slip him a quarter or leave $1, and well, he just got the love in that. And he found out that as he got older, it wasn't so cute, and people would come and he'd play, then they'd just walk out and not leave him anything, and he couldn't understand why.
Yeah, he got a job after that, a different job.
He went to work as a waiter then.
But his whole life has been in sales, and he's been very successful, so we always feel like we had a part of that, you know. Or
He's been in sales since he was 5 years old.
Yes, and still is today. This song is a really old song. It's called June Apple, and it's one of our favorites, one of Jeff's favorites in particular. Came from the British Isles, but it is one of the oldest songs that's a part of the American traditional music. So, June Apple. Oh, now I wish I was doing a boat hanging from a tree, and every time my true love passed, he'd take a bite of me. Oh, take a bite of me, my love, take a bite of me. Every time my true love passed, he'd take a bite of me. Oh, now train on the island, headed for the west. Gonna see my pretty little guy, guy that I love best. Oh, it's a fast one.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's an old dance tune. They would have been
Some
really,
of those tunes are good faster.
yeah. They would have really been flinging each other around, wouldn't they, if they were square dancing? Isn't that right, Pumpkin? Be sailing off into the end, right? Okay, this one is called Standing on the Mountain, and it's an old song that got kind of bluegrassed up by the Osborne brothers. Now, what we're playing isn't bluegrass, but we do some of those songs. We're actually playing what's called old time, and one of the big differences is the banjo, the style of banjo playing that's being played. That's really an old time part of this.
And usually there's a fiddle involved.
Yeah, a fiddle, but neither of us play the fiddle, so we were out on that. But we do have the clawhammer banjo.
Got the best half.
Yeah, that's right. And those tunes were for dancing, and you can hear just that rhythm that the banjo provides. And that was really important to dancing. The fiddle and the banjo were so important for that. But this one's called Standing on the Mountain, and it's a sad song. Wouldn't you say?
It is.
Yeah.
She left him standing on the mountain.
She left him standing on the mountain. All right, here we go. Well, now, darling, will you marry me? I asked a maiden fair. I turned my back upon her. When I looked, she wasn't there. She left me standing on the mountain. She left me standing away up there. Well, now there the honeybees were buzzing round the flowers there, and that is where she vanished, somewhere in that mountain air. She left me standing on the mountain. She left me standing away up there. Well, now I just heard a whippoorwill talking to a bear. They were both laughing about her giving me the air. She left me standing on the mountain. She left me standing away up there. Oh, I would give most anything if once more she'd appear and tell me that she cared a little for this mountaineer. She left me standing on the mountain. She left me standing away up there. She left me standing on the mountain. She left me standing way up there. Thank you. see, tipping back the corn. It's kind of
Okay.
self-explanatory there when you're in the
Some of these
Ozarks.
people might not know.
Well, that is true.
Corn in a jar.
Yeah,
I think everybody knows
yeah,
what.
yeah. We get our corn in a jar. Yeah, right. Should be Tennessee. Arkansas, the same. We had a neighbor, an old guy. Ed Dunlap was his name. Probably shouldn't say his name, should I?
You can.
Okay. He used to run moonshine when he was young, and he was a stonemason, and he did a lot of the stone work around Hardy there, and but he also ran moonshine. So he had a really souped-up car, and they would be out running the law all the time, running moonshine back and forth. But he was quite a character. He believed in WD-40.
He lived right down the road from. We
Yeah.
lived down about 2 miles up a gravel road, and he was about half mile down. And he was as big as I was. He was a big guy, and he had this little old. He had a porch swing. You've all seen them porch swings on his little old front porch. Made all this little bitty old wood. You know, and it had a sag in it, but that's where he sat every night. He'd come out and he'd not just sit down, he'd plop down in that, and you just hold your breath. But he would sit out there, and he always had a can of WD-40 there on the windowsill. And he had arthritis, and you could be talking to him, and he'd just reach over and grab that jar and start squirting his knees. And he swore by that stuff to take care of his arthritis. He says that's the only way he'd get along, and he always had a can of WD-40 with him.
So that's Mr.
You
Ed.
never know. You might try it if you got an issue.
You never know. That's Mr. Ed. He was good to us and our kids.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to do tipping back the corn in his honor. Well, remember I said when we started that we were going to pull some out of the vault? We need a vault sound, something that sounds like a squeaky hinge. Yeah, just like that. I got to put my glasses on so I can see here. This one is called My Dear Companion, and you may be familiar with this. Dolly Parton and Emmylou Harris and Linda Ronstadt recorded it on their trio album, if you've ever heard them do this. But the song was actually written by Gene Ritchie, and Gene Ritchie is probably the person most responsible for bringing the mountain dulcimer kind of out of the mountains and into the light back in the 60s, so that people could really hear it and see it and find out about the instrument. Plus, she was from a very large family, and they sang a lot. So she had a lot of old songs that no one had heard outside of the mountains, you know. And so she began to perform and sing and play with the mountain dulcimer. And we were very fortunate, Jeff and I, because we got to see her. She's passed away now. We were in a little setting just like this. And she was right up here in front. And for us, you know, it was like seeing a big name athlete or something, you know, kind of your hero, whatever. And here was this little lady, and she was so sweet and nice. And she's played the dulcimer and sang, and that was our hero. We stayed for both shows. She did 2 shows. And we both feel very privileged to be able to have seen her and see her play. This particular song is one that she remembered when she was growing up, but she couldn't remember all of it. You know, that happens to all of us every once in a while, right? Can't remember everything. So she wrote the rest of the song to go along with it. And Emmylou Harris actually sang this with her. It's called My Dear Companion. Oh, have you seen my dear companion? For he was all this world to me, but now he's gone to some far country, and he cares no more for me. Oh, when the dark is on the mountains and all the world has gone to sleep, I will go down to the cold dark waters, and there I'll lay me down and weep. Oh, have you seen my dear companion? Oh, he was all this world to me, but now the stars have turned against me, and he cares no more for me. I wish I were a sparrow flying. I'd fly to a high and lonesome place and join the wild birds in their crying, and think of you and your sweet face. Oh, have you seen my dear companion? Oh, have you seen my dear companion? Oh, have you seen my dear companion? For he was all this world to me. Thank you. That's a real pretty song. She was a wonderful songwriter and singer and performer. Well, we're going to do something called a mountain minor. We're going to use that particular tuning. It's just going to sound really minor to your ear. Every time we change keys, Jeff has to retune the banjo. And the reason being is that it gives him more open notes that he doesn't have to come up with all the notes. A lot of them are already there, right?
That's right.
Yep. And this is a minor tuning. We've got a couple of songs we're going to do here. This first one is Cold Frosty Morn / Squirrel Hunters. It's a medley, we hope. We're hoping it'll be a medley, right?
We hope every
Yeah,
time.
every time we do a medley, we think, oh, let it be a medley.
Medleys, Well, when you get old, you forget, and at least it's been my experience.
Now, how many times have you played the first one, and did you play that part or whatever? There's a lot going on in your head while you're
We're gonna
playing.
play it 2 times and then the other one 2 times.
Yeah.
You lose track of how many times you play.
Right, and that happens
And
sometimes.
sometimes you forget what the next tune is. And sometimes you remember the name, but you can't remember how it goes time you get there.
Yeah.
So it's just, medleys are just always a big question mark.
But they're fun to do, they really are.
We haven't been doing these very long. After you do them, I think it would probably become second nature, but
Not yet.
we we do medleys because it's not as boring as doing the same song 3 or 4 times in a row. So it breaks it up and hopefully keeps you awake.
The first song, Cold Frosty Morn, is a really old tune as far as American music tradition goes. Squirrel Hunters is not that old, written by John Hartford.
Yeah.
But it is about these squirrel hunters from Indiana. And during the Civil War, they needed some sharpshooters, and somebody told the generals and the commanders about these guys from Indiana. Now, he said, you know, they won't wear the uniforms, and they might not follow your rules, but they can really shoot. So they gathered up these squirrel hunters, and they shot for the Confederacy, and they were fabulous. And then they went home. It's like it was a day, and they went home after it was over. But anyhow, they've been memorialized in this particular dance tune.
Is that it?
Mm-hmm. We got them both in there. Could you tell the difference? Okay, very good, very good. I always think, well, we say we say we're going to do a medley, and then I always wonder if people know that we've actually done that. Yeah. Well, this one is again an old traditional American song. It's kind of a call and answer, and it's going to be in this modal tuning or minor tuning that you hear. And this is actually a new one. We've not done this one, but performed this
flying
one.
blind over here.
Yeah,
Really.
we heard the thunder rolling.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, roaring. This is a new one for us to do.
less than 24 hours old.
Yeah. But it's an old song, but new to us. But it's called I Heard the Thunder Roaring.
What did we decide? Want me to start it?
Oh, we'll take our wings in the morning, fly away to Jesus. Take our wings in the morning and sound jubilee. Oh, I hear the thunder roaring, roaring, oh, roaring. Hear the thunder roaring on down the break of day. We'll take our wings in the morning and fly away to Jesus. Take our wings in the morning and shout jubilee. Oh, I saw the lightning flashing, flashing, oh, flashing. Saw the lightning flashing on down break of day. We'll take our wings in the morning, fly away to Jesus. We'll take our wings in the morning and sound the jubilee. We heard our mothers calling, calling, oh, calling. We heard our mothers calling on down the break of day. We'll take our wings in the morning, fly away to Jesus. We'll take our wings in the morning and shout the jubilee. Yes, we'll take our wings in the morning and fly away to Jesus. We'll take our wings in the morning, shout the jubilee. Thank you. Thank you. Let me see where we are here. We're back to Ed, right? Okay. Oh, this is Jake Got the Bellyache. A lot of banjo tunes and fiddle tunes have kind of unusual names because people wrote about things that they knew. Also, the way that you learn songs, and that's the way Jeff and I learned, is you went to somebody's house and they'd play it and they'd show you the A part and they'd show you the B part and then you'd go home and you were on your own. And so you tried to play it, but maybe you played it just a little bit differently. And so you changed the tune totally because you couldn't remember the rest of it. Or you gave it a different name. And you couldn't remember the name, so you just gave it a different name. So there are a lot of old-time tunes that have different names, but it's the same tune. And that happened a lot. Or you'll have the A part, the first part of a song, go along just like another one, and then suddenly the B part just goes off in a completely different direction, and it may still have the same name. So you really have to pay attention when you're learning songs because you'll be surprised at what you hear. This one is Jake Got the Bellyache. Do you know anything about this song?
I don't know anything about it.
Other than
I just heard it and I liked it, and
like the name?
mostly.
Mostly, yeah.
I like the tune too, but
Yeah.
the name caught my attention.
Jake got the bellyache.
Jake got the bellyache.
Yeah,
I assume he got over it.
I hope so. This one.
Tip back a little corn, maybe.
Yeah, tip back a little corn. This song, Sandy Boys. And Sandy Boys is probably about being on the river, traveling down the river, and Sandy Boys, people that helped and worked on the barges and on the river. So, you know, it's really an old American song, but
Well, she's making that up.
you don't know
Do you
that.
know that?
No.
I thought they had sandy hair.
Okay.
I thought they was sandy colored hair. I don't know.
They're what?
I thought they had sandy colored hair.
Sandy colored hair. Well, maybe that's it.
Sandy bottoms.
Sandy Bottoms, yeah. Yeah, we have a new name for a group called the Sandy Bottoms.
That might have been the secret.
Oh, yeah. that
Somebody
might
may
have been.
steal that.
Yeah, I'm sure that'll get stolen. The Sandy Bottom Gang. All right, we ready for Sandy Boys? This is a fun one. Round, round, Sandy Boys, Sandy Boys, Sandy Boys, oh, Sandy Boys are coming. Round, round, Sandy Boys, Sandy Boys, Sandy Boys, oh, Sandy Boys are coming. Now, a lot of the fiddle tunes that he's doing on the banjo, a lot of that was used as dance music, and Sandy Boys is another one that was used for square dancing, and that was really an important part of life in the Ozarks and in all pioneer communities. I mean, that was the way that they spent their Saturdays and Saturday evenings after working very, very hard days, long days and hot days, and they would get together and play music, and then they would square dance, which I don't see how that was any relief from all their hard work. If you've watched people square dance, yeah, it's work, right, Pumpkin? Pumpkin is a teacher of square dance, Ozark square dance here, and she works at the Ozark Folk Center and teaches square dance. In fact, there'll be a dance Thursday night, right? As far as we know. Up at the Folk Center, 7 o'clock. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of fun. It has a live band, mostly, right? It's always better than a dead band. I always think it's funny when people say that. You know, they always talk about having a live band for something, and I think,
Someone's
well,
pretty old.
yeah. That's for sure. Well, I'm going to try my hand at this old song. It's a Jimmy Rogers song. He wrote a lot of songs. He's a prolific songwriter in the 1930s, and he traveled around, and he worked on the railroad. He was a brakeman. Before that, he was a hobo. You know, he would ride the rails and travel, and he'd travel and he'd write songs, and then he got, where somebody noticed him. He got pretty famous, and he started traveling around recording songs. And he was from Mississippi, and he missed home, and he missed his family. And this song is about missing his family, and it's called Miss the Mississippi and You. Jimmy Rogers. Yeah, this is a Jimmy Rogers song. This is coming out of the vault. Haven't done this one in a long time, but I've decided it's time to do it again because it's a really neat song, kind of different, Well, I'm growing tired of the big city lights, of the glamour, and tired of the sights. Oh, in all my dreams I'm roaming once more back to my home on the old river shore. I am sad and weary, far away from home. Oh, I miss the Mississippi and you, dear. Days are dark and dreary, oh, everywhere I roam. How I miss the Mississippi and you. Roaming the wide world over, always alone and blue. I'm so blue. Oh, nothing seems to cheer me under heaven's dome. How I miss the Mississippi and you, dear. Memories are bringing happy days of yore. I miss the Mississippi and you. Mockingbirds are singing round the cabin door. Oh, I miss the Mississippi and you. Roaming the wide world over, I'm always alone and blue, so blue, longing for my homeland on that muddy water shore. How I miss the Mississippi and you. Roaming the wide world over, oh, I'm always alone and blue, so blue. Well, longing for my homeland on that muddy water shore. How I miss the Mississippi and you. Mississippi and you. Thank you. Again, a vault number. All right, we're going to do a song called Halifax. Do you know anything about Halifax? We're almost to the audience participation section. I know you're excited.
It's not an old song.
Okay.
There's a group called the Rug Lifters. I think it was one of the Rug Lifters that wrote this.
Okay, and a lot of people do that. They write contemporary songs in the old traditional style. And if you didn't know any different, you couldn't tell them apart. But I think that's a nice tribute to old-time music. The people are willing to write songs in those veins of the old traditional songs. So this one's Halifax.
Gotta wet my whistle.
Oh, are you singing on this one?
No,
Oh, that's good.
y'all are lucky. I sing on two songs, and we've already done one of them.
Yes, we have. One in the next set he sings on.
It's not that I can't sing, I can't remember the words.
Yes, it's a lot of
See
words.
that notebook right there? That's all songs. That's a lot of words. She used to never have to use that, but now she's kind of cheating a little bit.
Yeah.
I'll keep her around a little bit, I guess.
Thank
If it gets
you.
much worse, I may let her go. You ready?
I'm ready when you are, yeah.
Halifax?
Halifax, yes. He needs me. All right, we're going to do a song, and I mean we are going to do a song called Hop High. And this is what you have to sing when we get there, and you'll know when we get there, when you're supposed to do it. Called Hop High, Hop High, Hop High, my Lulu gal. That's it, okay? Let's say it together. Hop high, hop high, hop high, my Lulu gal. You got it. You'll know when to come in.
I guess I sing on 3 songs.
Oh, that's right. You just sing on this one. This is a rip snorter. This one goes pretty fast.
You want to rip and snort?
Not just a rip, no
She yells
snort.
at me for playing too fast.
Yeah, just one of those.
What's that?
Just a rip, not a snort.
Okay.
Okay. No.
Oh.
Don't encourage that. Where'd you get them high-heeled shoes? And where'd you get that dress you wear so fine? Well, I got my shoes from a railroad in man and a dress from the driver in the mine. Hop high, this is you. Hop high, oh, hop high, my Lulu gal. Again, hop high, oh, hop high, my Lulu gal. Good. Well, I'll pawn you my watch and I'll pawn you my chain. I'll pawn you my gold wedding ring to pay Lulu's fine. Well, I'll pawn you my wagon and my team. Ready? Hop high, oh, hop high, my Lulu gal. Hop high, oh, hop high, oh, hop high. Well, I think we're going to take a little break now, right, Gresham? Yep. Okay. And we'll be back in
10 minutes or so.
15 minutes. Okay, he's spoken. So we're here if you have questions.
Turning pages of this worn Baptist hymnal, whispering hope, Daddy loved that old song. It's been some years now since we sang hymns together. They comfort me all the more now he's gone. Wasn't there, could swear I still felt the chill. Dakota skies falling blue into gray. He worked, he died, trying to rescue another, knowing his own death would be one step away. Just one step led to darkness, one step to the light. And it's hard now to say, was he wrong, was he right? But he was not one to waver, never went half the way. And he left this life knowing heaven's one step away. One It's hard some days just knowing what is wrong, what is right. But we all live by our choices at the end of the day. Best to leave this life knowing heaven's one step away. Best to live this life knowing heaven's one step away. Whispering hope, oh how welcome thy voice, making my heart in its sorrow rejoice. Thank you.
Hush up all you fiddles, for I'm tired of hearing you squawking. Be silent for your betters, can't you hear the banjo talking? About the possum's tail, I'm gonna lecture, ladies, listen. About the hair that isn't there and why that hair is missing. It's gonna come an overflow, said Noah looking solemn. Oh, Noah took the herald and he read the river column. And so he put his men to work a-clearing timber patches. Allowed he's gonna build a boat to beat the steamer Natchez. Now Noah kept a hammering and a chipping and a sawing, while all his wicked neighbors kept a-laughing and pshawing. But Noah didn't mind them, 'cause he knowed what's gonna happen, that for 40 days and 40 nights the rain'd keep on drapping. Now Noah went and caught a lot of every sort of beasties, and all the traveling circuses, he beat 'em all to pieces. He had some Morgan horses and a pair of Jersey cattle, and he put 'em on the ark when he heard the thunder rattle. Now such another fall of rain, it come so awful heavy, the river rose immediately and busted through the levee. The people all was drowned except Noah and the critters, and the men he had to run the boat and one to mix the bitters. Now Noah kept a-sailing and a-sailing and a-sailing. The lion got his dander up and nigh broke through the paling. The snakes they was a-hissing and the critters was a-fussing, till you could hardly hear the boatmen a-bossing round and cussing. Now Ham the only arky what was riding on the packet got lonesome in the ark, and he couldn't stand the racket. And so for to amuse himself he took some wood and bent it, and soon he had a banjo, the first that was invented. He took some skin and he took some tin and hammered out a bell for to ring it. And then the mighty question come on how he's gonna string it. Now the possum had a tail as fine as this that I'm a-singing, with hair so long and neat and strong, just right for banjo stringing. So Hammy shaved him off as short as wash day dinner graces, and sorted him out by the size from little E's to basses. Well, he strung her up and knocked a tune called Never Mind the Weather. It sounded like 40-11 bands a-playing all together. Pat and some to dance, and Noah called the figures, and Hammy set and knocked a tune, the happiest banjo picker. Now since that day there's not a sign of any hair a-growing, nor any hair at all upon the possum's tail a-showing. Strange to the Arky's ways is people never lost 'em, 'cause where you find a Arky there's a banjo and a possum. Oh, the golden shoes that you hear so much about, if worn down here then you'd soon wear 'em out. Gonna go up to heaven for to put on the robe, gonna put on the golden shoes. I'll rise when the rooster crows, I'll rise when the rooster crows. I'm going back south where the sun shines hot, I shine where the sugar cane grows. Don't let old Satan try to fool you. The gates will be closed and you can't get through. So prepare yourself for the judgment day, 'cause you can't take money and buy your way. I'll rise when the rooster crows, I'll rise when the rooster crows. I'm going back south where the sun shines hot, way down where the sugar cane grows. We'll drink cider all the fall, instead of going to the ball, where the duck chews tobacco and the goose drinks wine. Old hen cackle while the rooster keeps time. I'll rise when the rooster crows, I'll rise when the rooster crows. I'm going back south where the sun shines hot, way down where the sugar cane grows. We'll drink cider all the fall. I did that one, didn't I? All right. What you gonna do when the women are all dead? Gonna sit in the corner with a hung down head. If I had to marry again, I wouldn't marry for riches. I'd marry a little short gal who couldn't wear my breeches. I'll ride when the rooster crows, I'll rise when the rooster crows. I'm going back south where the sun shines hot, way down where the sugar cane grows. Thank you.
What's the first tune?
Shenandoah Falls.
Okay. We're back.
All right. So glad you stayed, got a snack, we're ready to go again. We're going to do a medley again.
Yep.
Again, keep our fingers crossed. This is Shenandoah Falls and Road to Malvern. And Road to Malvern is a newer song, and it's actually about Malvern, Arkansas, the road to Malvern, Arkansas. Yep. So, yeah, it's the real deal. A guy's wife was from there that wrote the song. So, Road to Malvern, yeah. The second one was A Road to Malvern. Could you face me a little bit more? I can't quite.
Need a little more volume on the banjo?
Just need, yeah, if you could just turn, there you go. There, that's good. Okay. All right. I'm going to sing a song. It's called Across the Great Divide. And this song was written by a lady named Kate Wolf, and she was from California. It was written in the early 1970s, something like that. She's passed away. But it was a song I came across as I was retiring from my job, and I was a school teacher. And there's a verse in here that talks about sifting through layers of paper and things. And I thought, yes, that's all I'm doing is sifting through all my work of 20 plus years, and as I got ready to retire. But I thought about this, and I think a lot of people can relate to it because it talks about changing your life, how you come to a place and you change, you have to take another turn. And there are a lot of those watersheds in our lives, you know, and retirement is one of those, where things begin to change. You don't have to get up and go to work every day, but you're still really busy. You know, you're really busy. And sometimes I think it's because it takes you longer to get things done, you know. So it seems like you're just so busy. But this is called Across the Great Divide. Well, I've been walking in my sleep and counting troubles instead of counting sheep. Oh, where the years went, I can't say. I just turned around and they're gone away. Well, I've been sifting through the layers of dusty books and faded papers. They tell a story I used to know, but it happened so long ago. It's gone away in yesterday, and now I find myself on the mountainside where the rivers change direction across the great divide. The finest hour that I've seen, oh, is the one that comes between the edge of night and the break of day. It's when the darkness just rolls away. It's gone away in yesterday. Oh, now I find myself on the mountainside where the rivers change direction across the great divide. It's gone away in yesterday, and now I find myself on the mountainside where the rivers change direction across the great divide. Thank you. I think that was just one that just kind of spoke to me and made me think about changes and how things change in our lives. All right, the next one is Rock the Cradle Joe. Jeff really likes this one. Am I getting that sinking thing? Be like going down and down and down. Thank you. I'll keep it kind of pointed up, so thanks, Gresham.
He just wanted to get in the video.
He did. Gresham, by the way, is a fabulous, unbelievably fabulous bass player. If you ever get a chance to see him, I'm sure he'll be playing this weekend. I mean, he's just excellent. Here in Mountain View, we're very, very blessed in that we have a program within the public school that's called the Music Roots Program. And young people are taught to play traditional music, traditional instruments as a part of their school day, and then after school as well. So they have professional musicians come in, old-time musicians, and they teach banjo and fiddle and clawhammer, banjo and guitar. I don't know what else they did. Dulcimer, they teach dulcimer. And then, of course, they have recitals throughout the year. But this is a way of preserving the music and keeping it alive so that it's not lost. And we have so many young people that continue to play and have just achieved amazing things that young people normally don't do. But it's because of the influence of the school and the people here at Mountain View. They're willing to pass it on, to share their music, and that just keeps it alive and growing. And they just move along, and Gresham's one of those young people that just has excelled, and we're all really proud of him.
Is Gresham young?
Yes, Gresham's young.
I remember when he was young.
Well, he's great, and he's more than willing to pass along what he knows too. So it's a wonderful part of being here at Mountain View. All right, we're going to do Rock the Cradle Joe. I'm going to try and keep up. Well, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine.
Oh, good. That's good to know.
My knee hurts a little bit.
Oh, it does. Well, we should have WD-40 up here. When we first moved to Arkansas, we lived over in the Hardy area, and we were young. We were really young. We moved.
24, I think, when we moved
yeah.
here.
And we were just taken in by the country community. We lived out in the country, and they just took us in, and part of that is because we played music. They didn't have any banjo players. They had a lot of guitar players, but they didn't have any banjo players. There were a lot of old-time fiddlers that were just unbelievable in our area, and they just opened up their music life to us. So it was really a privilege. over there we had musicals, which is what they called like a gathering of people to play music. Here we call them jams and other stuff, but we called them musicals. And over in that area, there was a musical almost every Saturday night. So the first Saturday night of the month, the musical was at Tick Ridge. That was the name of the place, Tick Ridge, and it was an old church house, and people would come in, and all the older men would have on their suits and their ties, you know, and the ladies would come in, and they'd have their dresses on, but they had their hair in those pink curlers, you know. Yeah, and they had a scarf around. Well, the next day was Sunday, so, you know, they had to have their hair done for Sunday, and they were so nice, and they had microphones like this kind of around this circle, and there were like maybe 15 guitars and a couple of fiddles, and people took a turn, and they played and they sang, and it was really nice, but they got really excited when Jeff came because he played the banjo, so.
Everybody does.
No, they get excited when you show up. It's hard to take him places sometimes. He just gets mobbed by the crowds.
I'm just eye candy.
Yeah, that is true. But we would go, the second Saturday night was a musical by our house, and it wasn't too far from our house, and it was called Cabin Creek, and it was an old church house. It had been a schoolhouse and a church house, been a lot of things. It became a community center, so we decided we were going to have a musical there. And that was the second Saturday night, and boy, let me tell you, that was full. It was SRO, standing room only, in that place, and it's a little bigger than this place, but it was just jammed together, and people were jammed, and they were talking, playing music. You even had to sign up to be able to play. I mean, it was pretty fancy.
We started out with anybody who wants to come play, just come on. They had a little stage there, and pretty soon there wasn't room on the stage, so we had to divide up and sign up, and then if somebody wanted to come up and sing one, they would just get some people to come up, play for them, or if there was somebody already up there, they'd just say, well, I'm going to sing one, and we'd back them up. So it was just real fun, real informal.
They had raffles. Yeah, they had raffles. Yes, we did have dances. Mary and Robert came over.
Robert came up and did about 3 lessons up there. And for several months, we got together about once a month and did the Texas Star and
Grapevine Twist. Kids always like that one. Yeah. And Corner Girl. We did those 3 dances. Yeah, they came up and talked because it was wood floor. I mean, and when they were dancing,
it was about twice the size of this.
Yeah, and when they were dancing, the dust would just come up, through the cracks in the floor. But it was a lot of fun, and we did a lot of fun things. And it was an outhouse, didn't even have indoor plumbing or anything there. But it was really fun. We had a good time. Third Saturday night was open, and then the fourth Saturday night was at Myrtle, Missouri. And that was a different experience. Each one of these places, it was really different. And
Myrtle was above the fire station. They had a hall.
And you went above the fire station, and it was really fun. But they were different musicians there, even though it wasn't that far apart. But it was really fun. We had a good time. And this next song we're going to do, it's called Things in Life. That's kind of connected to telling you about Cabin Creek and Tick Ridge and Myrtle. Things in Life is a song about, I think it really kind of embodies the Ozark way of thinking and what we saw in some of those older people. This idea that you do the best you can with what you have. And that's your greatest honor in life, is to do the best you can. And I want to dedicate this, even though she's not here, because she just recently passed away, to our friend Maudie Sellers. And Maudie, she was 89, and she passed away, just of natural causes. She just, like my mom always said, your body just gives out, after a while. And it's recent, but she lived a very hard life growing up. And her life was a very beautiful life as an adult. She had wonderful children and grandchildren, great-grandchildren. Her husband was a wonderful man. But she had a very difficult childhood growing up. And so this song always makes me think of her. Things in life. Oh, look up, look down that lonesome road. Hang down your head and cry, for we often lose some things in life that make us wonder why. Oh, the fairest love I ever had now sleeps beneath the clay. And after all is said and done, well, I'm sure God has his say. Well, I often sit and wonder why life has to be this way. But after all is said and done, oh, I'm sure God has his say. I want to be a small part of life with some few things to achieve. Just to know I'd been a useless cause, well, it would give my poor heart grief. So that when I lay my casket down in some lonesome grave to rest, and you take one last look at my face, you can say I've done my best. Thank you. Clucking Hen.
Okay,
What do you know about it?
nothing.
Okay. This song is called...
Nobody in the world has ever heard about it.
Oh, okay. I've never shared about it or anything. This song is called Clucking Hen, and the song sounds like a clucking hen, I'd say, yeah. Real old-timey. Sounds like that clucking hen.
Close.
Let's do Step Around Johnny. Step Around Johnny has a companion piece called Johnny Don't Get Drunk. We think maybe that's the first song in the companion, and maybe he messed
Two songs
up.
I wrote that night.
Yeah, 2 songs were written, yep. So this is Step Around Johnny. Again, that's a dance tune. All right, this next one is kind of different. We do a lot of different songs, A minor. Just kind of gather up some songs that are different and put them together for you because we know not everybody wants to listen to 2 hours of fiddle tunes on the banjo. So, I mean, they're good.
Why not?
Well, they're good, but, we try to think of our audience more than us. So this one is unusual. It actually comes from the black blues traditions in America. It's called Nobody's Fault But Mine, and it was written by
Belly.
Yeah, this one was written by Leadbelly. And we're going to do pretty close to the original. It doesn't have quite as many verses, just because it would get kind of long. But when I found this song, and I really liked it, Abigail Washburn also sang. Lots of people have done this one. But when I found it, I started kind of researching it and just seeing different verses and what people sang. How they put everything together, and so I came across several folks. Sister Rosetta Tharpe, who is an Arkansan from South Arkansas, and she is best known for her rock and roll gospel guitar playing. She's quite a force to be reckoned with, but
She's fun to watch.
Oh yeah, if you ever get a chance to YouTube her, Sister Rosetta Tharpe. She was just fabulous. I mean, just a fabulous musician, singer, and everything she did was gospel. And she's a great part of Arkansas music history. So I borrowed a verse from her, and I borrowed a verse from, this one and that one. Leadbelly, I borrowed verses from him. And then also the way of playing the song, the chord progressions and stuff, I got from a group that's actually from the Netherlands. Isn't that strange how? But it's because music just travels. People like it, and so they learn it. And they're called the Rusty Plow Pickers. And they do, excuse me, a lot of old time and bluegrass. But they're really good. And so we put this one together with the banjo, the old-time banjo.
Led Zeppelin also does a version of this.
But
So
it's
this
not
is-
going to sound like.
Doesn't sound like what we're gonna do. They took several old blues tunes and redid them. We do another one, can't think of the name of it right offhand.
Gallows Pole. Yeah,
Gallows Pole.
Gallows Pole.
Which was an old black blues tune, and they took it and redid it, and we do it more like the original guy.
Yeah.
Can't think of his name.
Blind Willie Johnson.
Blind Willie Johnson. Okay.
Nobody's fault but mine. Oh, it's nobody's fault but mine. No, ain't nobody's fault but mine. If I die and my soul be lost, ain't nobody's fault but mine. Well, now my mother taught me how to pray. Yes, my mother taught me how to pray. Pray all day and into the night. Oh, my mother taught me how to pray. So it ain't nobody's fault but mine. Ain't nobody's fault but mine. If I don't pray and my soul be lost, well, ain't nobody's fault but mine. Oh, my mother taught me how to sing. Yes, my mother taught me how to sing. Sing all day and into the night. Oh, my mother taught me how to sing. And it ain't nobody's fault but mine. Nobody's fault but mine. If I die and my soul be lost, it ain't nobody's fault but mine. Well, now I got a Bible in my hand. Yes, I got a Bible in my hand. If I don't read and my soul be lost, it ain't nobody's fault but mine. Oh, nobody's fault but mine. Ain't nobody's fault but mine. If I don't read and my soul be lost, well, ain't nobody's fault but mine. 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 Thank you.
Becky.
I don't usually do two together, sing two together, but I'm going to tonight. This one's called Wandering Boy. And Wandering Boy songs are a big part of American traditional music because there were a lot of young men that left home and they were seeking work, or some of them went to war. Some of them just wanted to see what was over the next ridge, you know. They wanted to explore. This song is one of many. You can find lots and lots of these songs about a mother waiting for her boy to write her a letter. Well, we have had boys know that probably won't happen. But she's waiting for him to write a letter or come home, or somebody find him and send him back home because I'm missing him so much. I always think of my grandfather. He was, they were from Europe, and his family came here from Czechoslovakia, and they were in Virginia, and they had a big farm and a bunch of kids. And he hitchhiked when he was 14 from Virginia to Chicago, which is a long ways. They had so many kids, I don't know. He always said he wasn't sure anybody missed him for a while. But he hitchhiked because his brother was there, and he was going to get work. And I always think about him when we get ready to do these Wandering Boy songs. But this one is, I think the Carter family did this one too. Are you ready? Wandering Boy. That's it. And he sings on this one too. Just saying.
Hard to wet my whistle.
Yep. Well, out in the cold world and far away from home, some mother's boy is wandering all alone, with no one to find him or put his footsteps right. Some mother's boy is lonesome tonight. Oh, bring back to me my wandering boy. There is no other left to bring me joy. Tell him his mother with faded cheeks and hair is at the old home place waiting him there. Out in the hallway there stands a vacant chair and no pair of shoes that he used to wear. And there is the cradle once he loved so well. How much do I miss him? No tongue can tell. Oh, bring back to me my wandering boy. There is no other left to bring me joy. Tell him his mother with faded cheeks and hair is at the old homestead waiting him there. Search till you find him and bring him back to me, far, far away, wherever he may be. Oh, tell him his mother with faded cheeks and hair is at the old homestead waiting him there. Oh, bring back the wandering boy. There is no other left to bring me joy. Tell him his mother with faded cheeks and hair is at the old homestead waiting him there. Yes, she's at the old homestead waiting him there. Thank you, Wandering Boy. All right, ready? Snake River Reel.
Oh, yeah.
2 songs put together, medley.
Medley.
We hope.
Yeah.
This is
We've done
Snake
this one a
River
lot,
Reel.
but-
Yeah, Snake River Reel, which
I
is
should
not
have saved that. I'll forget
really.
where I'm at.
Yeah, I
You
know.
where I'm
I
at.
know. You jinxed it. Snake River Reel and Soldier's Joy. And Soldier's Joy is a really old American song. It's supposed to be General Washington's favorite tune for dancing. It was very popular during the Revolutionary War. wars in Europe and then during the Civil War. It's mostly known for Civil War. All right, you ready? You almost went on without me. I forgot to take it.
I know.
I know. Sorry
I
about
should have
that.
caught that.
I know. I should have. This one's called Blue-Eyed Boy, and it's another old ballady kind of song. This time it's the man leaving the woman instead of the woman leaving the man, that's the way it usually is in old ballads. But this time he's leaving her. Did I say that right?
I don't know.
You weren't listening to every word I said? I am
You should be used to that by
shocked.
now.
I am. Don't you remember now that rocky mountainside where we lay down to rest? You promised to be my blue-eyed boy while the sun sank in the west. Hand me down my old gray hat, it's hanging there on the shelf. By this time tomorrow night, I'll be gone on that long, long trail. And don't you remember now that rocky mountainside where we lay down to rest? Promised to be my blue-eyed boy while the sun sank in the west. I wish to the Lord that I'd never been born or died when I was young. Whoever would have seen your sparkling blue eyes or heard your lying tongue. blue-eyed boy, while the sun sank in the west. Oh, don't you remember now that rocky mountainside where we lay down to rest? You promised you'd be my blue-eyed boy while the sun sank in the west. All right.
It's 9 o'clock.
Oh, it's 9 o'clock. Guess it's time for us to finish up. Is that right, Gresham? Yeah. Okay. Well, that was we're through playing now. Thank you. You were a great audience. Did good on the audience participation.
Very good.